we call each other soul sisters.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if we don't see each other for like a year or a couple months or a couple weeks. Whenever we do get together, we tend to be on that same track. Hi everyone, and welcome to The Real Sexy, a self-love journey. Today I have the beautiful Edith here with us today.
Hi.
Hi. And I've known Edith for a really, really long time. And we've known each other since high school.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I wanted to do this interview with her today is because we call each other soul sisters.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if we don't see each other for like a year or a couple months or a couple weeks. Whenever we do get together, we tend to be on that same track. So that's why I think our ways of being flow kind of down the same chart. So that's why I'm excited to have her here with us today. And for the viewers who don't know you, that don't know you, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself and what you've done, what you've appeared on, and who you styled.
Okay. All right. Well, my name is Edith. I'm a hairstylist. I've been doing hair for about 10 years now. Mm-hmm. And just this past year, I've recently decided that I just want to focus on the things that I love to do, which is hairstyling and hair cutting. Mm-hmm. I love doing like bridal, editorial. I have recently had some work published this year, actually. Just had some work published in a magazine called Elegant, and then also I worked with Emily Lazar of September Morning. It's a band, and just worked with her. We had some of that published as well in this magazine called Sour. So a lot of editorial, but I also do bridal, and I just like making people feel pretty, because when you feel pretty, like you conquer and you kick ass. So it's awesome.
So in the past, you've also done work for the Playboy magazine.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about that. So that was like a year ago, and I worked with Cruella.
Yes.
And yeah, we got published in Playboy magazine online. That's right.
Yes.
I totally forgot. I forgot. So that was probably the first like legit work that I did for something like that, where I actually had something published in like a magazine that people knew, and I was like, "Whoa, that's cool."
So, what were some of the things that came up for you when you first went and did that first publication? Were there fears? Were there doubts? And if so, how did you overcome them?
Yeah, for sure, totally. So obviously, there's always the self-doubt, and there's always this like little voice. Or at least for me, I'm sure for some people too, but for me, it was like, there's always this voice inside your head, like, I'm so excited, I can't believe I got this, like, this is so cool. And then there's this voice that's like, what if they don't like you? What if you do a bad job? What if blah, 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 like all these negative things. So definitely had to put that aside and have to be like, no, like remind myself I have the experience, and if for whatever reason things don't go well, at least it's a learning experience. It's at least something that I can say, like, at least I did it, you know, versus like letting that fear get to me and not doing that, which that actually reminds me that I did hair for this music video, for the first music video I ever did with this video. And I remember being there at the music video and being like, I don't know if I should have done this. Like, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I did a bad job. But like, I knew that regardless, even before I took the gig, because I had to be up at like 4 a.m. to be there. And I remember thinking like, maybe I shouldn't do this. But I did it anyway, and I have zero regrets, because I would have regretted it more if I wouldn't have done it, rather than if I did it. At least I'm like, well, if I didn't do the best, or I didn't feel like I did my best, because I feel like you always kind of self-critique. You always think like, oh, I could have done this better, I could have done that better. And sometimes what I've been learning like this past year is sometimes you just gotta be like, I did the best that I could with the tools that I had at that moment. And if I didn't do my best, or regardless of whether it came out good or bad, or whether I think it was up to my expectations, because I can also be very like much a perfectionist when it comes to my work. And sometimes that doesn't let you enjoy like what you're doing. Like for me, it doesn't sometimes. So what I've had to learn just this past year is to just let it be. Like just let it be and be like, you know what, I did my best. I note to self for the future, if I want to do something better, then just make a mental note, and then the next time be like, okay, I could do this strategy, maybe it'll get me there faster, I'll do a better job or something to myself, because I have my own expectations.
I totally agree with that. I mean, that is something that I've encountered too, doing the YouTube channel. It's, I could have done this, I could have done that, or maybe if I tried this or if I tried that. But instead of just like, you know what, I did the best that I could, and at least I'm doing it, at least I'm showing up, and it's a step forward, it's that lesson.
Right.
So I really enjoyed that you shared that with us. And I was going to ask you, you took the other question, is do you still have those, like, that little conversation inside your head when you go and show up to a shoot, which you said?
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah. And that also reminds me of this other story, because I just a couple weeks ago, this is when I decided that I was gonna leave my office job and start. So long story short, I went to sign up for, I've been doing hair for Glam Squad, which is a company based out of LA. They also have services in OC, but basically it's like you can go online or go on the app, and you can have people basically order your services to go home. So like you can get a blow dry or a blowout at home. They also have makeup services. I don't do makeup, but I just do hair. And anyway, I went to go do their workshop, and when I was doing the workshop, I was like, I don't get, she was showing us this new technique, and I was like, I don't get this. I felt like I was back in beauty school, and I was like starting from a zero, and I was like, oh my God. And the whole time I was doing it, I was like, you suck, you suck, you suck. Like in my head, I just kept repeating like, you suck, just quit, just quit, just quit. And I was like, no, I can't quit. Like I remember like almost having this internal battle of like, you can either quit, go home and be like feeling sorry for yourself, or I could just tough it out and just keep trying until I get it, and then eventually I'm gonna learn it, which is more my strategy. So yeah, I always have those thoughts. I think I'm learning how to get past them. So I'm still continuing to have them, but I'm like, okay, I see you there, but like, let me counter you with like, let me just counter you with some like, and then no, you ain't gonna make me quit, I'm gonna keep going. So that's what I do. Like, I just keep going. And then eventually like I do get it, and then I'm like, oh, I'm getting the hang of it. Like, and then it's exciting, because then it's like, I kicked your ass today. Negative thought, like, bye. So that's kind of how I do it.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I mean, I think that's something that we can all apply into, it doesn't matter what field we're in. So whenever those negative thoughts come in, it'd be like, no, I see you, and you ain't having your way today.
Not today. Not today, Satan. Not today.
Well, are there any other obstacles that you've have come across in your journey to becoming a hairstylist?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is ego. Is you know, I got to, it was basically like myself getting in my own way, in the sense that like I knew I was a good stylist, and I was, in my eyes, and this is where my downfall was, is I thought I was good to the point where I thought I didn't need help from other people, in a sense. And not like consciously, I didn't do this consciously, like I just barely realized this like this past year, like towards the beginning of the year. And I was like stopping my own growth, because I was thinking like, I'm a natural at this, or like I'm pretty good at this, or I've been doing hair like since I mean, my mom taught me how to braid hair when I was like 10, and ever since then I've been kind of like playing with hair, so I love doing it. So I thought like, I don't need to look at videos, or I don't need to follow people, because I thought I didn't want to be influenced by other people, in the sense that I didn't want to copy their work. But unfortunately it backfired on me, because I wasn't continuing my education in that sense. I stunted my own growth. And it wasn't until I realized like, this is stupid, like there's so much out there for me, like why am I going to let my ego get in the way that this person who may not have as much experience as me knows how to do something better than I do? Like, that was kind of the thought process behind why I didn't, and I didn't realize it until once I did realize, like, oh, it's just because I'm almost embarrassed that this person knows more than I do, that I was like, okay, it's okay that this person knows more. Like, how am I not going to learn from this person? I should instead embrace the fact that, hey, this person knows more than I do. Maybe I should learn from them. Yeah. And so once I shifted the perspective and was able to be like, okay, maybe I'll take it that way versus feeling like my ego's hurt because somebody knows more than me, then I got out of my own way and everything started to shift.
That's amazing.
It's insane. Like, so many doors have opened up this year just from shifting that perspective, that I'm like, okay, I was literally getting in my own way. Yeah.
That is what I'm learning this year. That is what I am learning this year.
We're always on the same path.
Yes. For me too, like, as soon as I said, this is my intention, this is what I want to create, and it's okay to ask for support from others. Here's this. Let me support you this way. How can I support you this way? Everything's like, yeah, we're behind you.
Yeah.
We just wanted you to ask.
Yeah. And then sometimes when you're so independent, you don't want to ask for help because you're like, no, I got this. And sometimes it's like, sure, I got this, but it's okay to ask for help. And I think that can be hard for someone like who is so used to, we're so used to doing things on our own that it's like, I don't really want to be a bother, a burden. Yeah, exactly. But but we've had to learn that lesson of, like, sometimes people, like, the fact that people want to support you is a good thing because it feels good to them too. So, yeah.
That's actually one of the things that a friend of mine told me. He's like, did you ever realize that maybe I want to be there for you? He's like, you don't have to do it all on your own. And I'm like, oh, my heart. Damn, that one hurt.
Oh, I felt it.
And you guys will meet him. So you'll see the wise owl in there too. But is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience that, that may be thinking about pursuing their passion, maybe thinking about, hey, I no longer want to do the 9 to 5, maybe I want to do this, or maybe they are doing the 9 to 5 and they want to go back to school, or anything like that they might be able to apply to their life?
I think that is something that I struggled with, that I'm still kind of trying to figure out. But what I would say is, and this is what somebody told me once, and it really kind of helped me. So she told me, just think about what it is that you're spending the majority of your free time doing, and maybe that gives you a clue as to what your passion or, what it is that you really want to do. And then on top of that, I would say, like, don't stop yourself from at least trying, because the worst thing that can happen is you fail and then you at least you tried. Yeah. I think the what really made me think, or to kind of start to pursue what it is that I wanted to do is, I had somebody, like, I listened to a lot of TED Talks, and I was listening back to Jay Shetty. I don't know if Jay Shetty was doing this video, and he was talking about the regret, and he was saying, like, what the biggest regrets in life are for people. And usually he gave this example of, like, say that you had money that you were going to be investing in something, or that you could have sold an old heirloom, and you realized, like, it could have been worth a lot of money, but instead you held on to it because you thought it would be worth more. Okay, and then you realize, like, you gave it up and you sold it, and you got a couple bucks for it, and then if you don't, then you just keep it in your attic and it just builds up with dust and you never get rid of it. So what's worse is knowing that you could have made some money off of it, maybe, or you just kept it up there getting all dusty. And I was like, yeah, like, for me, I'm like, I would regret more not taking the chance versus knowing I took the chance, maybe made the wrong choice, but at least I tried. And I think that, like, really, for some reason, that really put it into perspective for me, where I thought, like, okay, I could take this chance of, like, letting go of this stability which is why I never made the leap before, because I was afraid to have, I always worked 2 jobs at least, just because I needed the stability. For me, what I felt was I needed the stability, and the universe kept telling me, like, I'm gonna back you up, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I got you. And I'm like, I'm gonna go to work tomorrow. But like, it's just like, I didn't believe it, in a sense. Like, I just couldn't. I'm like, yeah, okay. But then it got to this point where I just could not deny, like, every day, it was like the same repeated message. And I'm like, okay, I got you, I heard you. And then eventually I was like, am I gonna regret more staying in this job, which isn't going to push me towards my goals? Or am I gonna take this chance, possibly fail, hopefully not, but knowing that at least I tried.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, my type of personality, I'd rather take the risk.
Yeah.
It's hard to, because I'm so used to stability, but my biggest regret would be more so not knowing I didn't take the chance. Like, that would be the worst.
I agree. And same with me. This is the reason why I should start the YouTube channel. One of the things, I'm not comfortable in front of a camera. I'm not comfortable being seen, and yet here I am taking that chance, taking that leap, and moving forward with it. I don't know what's going to come of it, but I'm trusting the process, and I have faith, and what will be. And if it doesn't work, then hey, I've learned so much from just trying.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the biggest thing that has helped shift my perspective, is thinking of myself as a learner versus thinking of myself as like, I know everything.
Yeah.
And again, I think the reason when I did that workshop with Glam Squad, and I was back in what I said, like back in the classroom, so to speak, that was actually good for me though. It humbled me.
Yeah.
It humbled me for sure. But I think that's what I needed, for me to be like, yeah, I still got a lot to learn. I have a lot that I would want to learn, like my boyfriend tells me all the time, he's like, but you're good, you're this. And I'm like, yes, I know what you mean. But if I think that way all the time, then I won't want to progress. Yeah. Thinking, oh, I know all this, or I'm good at this already. Yeah, that's true, but there's so much more that I still want to learn, that I know that I want to be better at, that like I'm good, but I want to be like really good.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Yes.
If the viewers want to get to know you a little bit better, follow you, what are your social media channels? Do you have anything coming up that you may want to share? Or
well, you can go to my website, which is www.edithbaltran.com, or you can go on my Instagram, which is @rebelhairwear, WEAR, and I post a lot of my stuff on there. So I will be posting. I just did a bridal shoot like yesterday, or did hair for a bridal event, so I'll probably be posting pictures of that. Be posting pictures probably from my from my last editorial shoot that we did. So if you want to see like just hair stuff, cool hair, then check it out. Yeah.
All right, so before we say goodbye, there's a final question that I ask.
Okay.
And so if you could go back in time, let's say 10 years from now, or when you were at a very tender time in your life where you could have really used some advice, you could have really used a hug, and you could go back and talk to that girl, what would you tell her?
That's so powerful. And also, like, made me want to cry. Like, why you do this to me? I think that, I don't know if I would say much. I feel like more than anything, I would probably just want that comfort of, like, everything's going to be okay. Like, everything's going to be okay. And I think, well, I guess that's probably what I would say. Like, everything's going to be okay. Just do your part. And I think this is something that I've been having to kind of tell myself lately. And maybe it's just a little bit of inner child work, too. Where I've had, like, those moments where I feel like, I don't know if I even want to, like, you just think so negatively sometimes that it's like, I don't know if I want to keep trying. Like, why? Sometimes you think, like, even, why should I be a good person if blah, 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 whatever thoughts. But sometimes it's just like, you know what? Things will work out. Like, you may not get it now, but just keep keep going. And this past like week or so is when I've been tested the most, and really learned to understand, to just trust the process and just be like, look, universe, I don't get it. I don't know what you're doing right now. I'm a little upset even, but I trust. Mm-hmm. And like that has been the biggest help, that I just say like, you know what, I trust. I don't know what's gonna happen, mm-hmm. but I know that for myself, I'm always saying like, whatever is for my greatest and highest good, that's what I want. Mm-hmm. And I trust that you're somehow doing your little things that you do to fix things out, and then somehow things fall into place even though it's a struggle. And then I'm like, oh, I got you. I see what you're doing here. I see. So eventually it makes sense, and now I understand that. So what I repeat to myself in my head now is, do your part and have faith. That's it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be putting her website and her Instagram information on the description box below. And as always, stop on by. We are so happy to see you. So click subscribe, and we will see you next time. Actually, we have a surprise for you. We're going to be doing a little self-love.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what's the surprise? Tell me the surprise. I'm surprised too.
Edith is going to be talking to us about her self-love practices and how you can incorporate some of that into your life. So stay tuned. Click subscribe so you can find out when we go ahead and launch that video. All right, till next time.
Bye.
Bye.